Hi friends, this is Krish, the Urban Naxal. So I am now browsing on the RERA website and totally at random, believe me. I am browsing the RERA website without an axe to grind. If I had an axe to grind, I would be homing in on Lodha and Runwal and just browsing and showing you those agreements and allotment letters and things like that. But I am not going to make this personal. I am browsing in a very general sort of a way. And I browsed, starting from alphabet A, and I found some projects in Aurangabad named Arihant, and I found some interesting things there. But I'm going to look at it in terms of what is going to benefit the maximum number of people. So I'm kind of going for some of the big name builders. So I thought of Piramal and I thought of Sunteck, and what do you know? I found Piramal Sunteck Realty Private Limited on RERA, and I found a project by Piramal Sunteck called Signia Waterfront in Airoli, Navi Mumbai. So I am going to show you what is good, what is bad, and what's ugly about Signia Waterfront, Airoli, Navi Mumbai. To begin with, it has been the website on RERA has been recently updated on 12th Jan 2022. So I'm going to assume that all these things are up to date. The RERA website has been updated by these guys. This is not necessarily so. I find sometimes that they are not updated, but this time around it probably is updated. So what does it say? Let us start with the good. Piramal Sunteck Realty Private Limited. Sounds like you have the best of Piramal and the best of Sunteck. That should be good. Sounds okay. It's not some kind of an unknown builder. It's not some minor, redevelopment builder with some funny name. Piramal and Sunteck. Okay. Then we look at their completion date and it still looks good, because the proposed date of completion is 9th March 2022, and the revised proposed date of completion is 30th April 2022. So that's good. They haven't revised it by more than a month, a couple of months at most. That's good. So it is almost ready for possession. That's what it appears. Does it have litigation? It says no. So is there any promoter or landowner or investor as defined by RERA? Again, the answer is no, which means the builder is himself the landowner, which is good. We look at whether, what is the status of completion and how many floors and so on and so forth. And there are a few things here which look generally quite good. So I'm going with the good first. I'm going to come to the part that is bad, and I'm going to come to the part that's ugly. But this is the good part. They say that most of the work is 100% completed. Water conservation, rainwater harvesting, energy management, blah, 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 is 100% completed. But it says that the aggregate area of recreational open space work is 0% completed, work not started. So recreational open space within the premises of this project called Signia, work has not yet started, 0. Open parking, again they say 0, work has not yet started. Now let us look at how much open parking there is going to be. So they say there are going to be 40 open parking spaces. There are 258 closed parking spaces, and of the 258 closed parking spaces, they say 127 has been booked. So about half has been booked. Let us look at how many flats have been booked. So out of 3 BHKs, 34 3 BHKs, 27 has been booked out of 34 3 BHKs. Out of 68 2 BHKs, 47 has been booked. Out of 2 BHKs, 34, smaller size, no, larger 2 BHKs of 61.22 meters. Out of 34, 25 has been booked. There are 2 shop spaces and both are not booked, and so on. So we find that roughly 66 or 70% booking has been done. This is what it seems to be the case. Excavation, etc., all the things are 100% complete. Everything is 100% complete. So it appears that this project is ready to be delivered. It is a 36 floor structure. It has got 36 slabs. Seems to be fully ready. That is good. I am not going to recommend it as a great place to buy or anything like that, because I don't know enough about it. But what I do see is that it is nearly ready. The construction is nearly ready, and about 33% of the flats, or let's do a rough calculation, about something like 25-30 flats are still remaining in different categories, which sounds good. Now let us go to their title and let us understand their title report. What does it say? Again, I don't expect any surprises here. The title report, which you find on RERA, this lawyer called Trigun Patwardhan has made a title report, and he says, title certificate in respect of plot number 1 ad measuring these many square meters in sector 12 of Airoli, Navi Mumbai. I have perused the documents forwarded to me in respect of the above captioned property. Please note that this report on title necessarily depends on the assumption that copies of documents furnished before me and information provided to me is complete, accurate and true. So in other words, he is relying completely on the builder, that is Piramal Sunteck Realty Private Limited, to furnish all the documents to him. He is not second guessing, he is not looking behind their back, he is not checking independently. Please be clear, this is the case with most of the title reports that are submitted on RERA. They tend to be based on the documents that are given to them. However, this one seems to be pretty of a fairly high standard, because the land has been acquired from SIDCO. Now what these guys have done is, SIDCO is the new town development authority for the area designated as a site for the new town of Navi Mumbai, New Bombay. Okay, it seems Piramal Sunteck Realty Private Limited, PSRPL, made an application in October 2010 to this corporation, okay, and requested the corporation to grant us a piece of land, so this is how they acquired the land from SIDCO. So which looks totally legit. I don't think there is any trouble lurking in the land. So the land part of it, I would say, is completely legit and no one should worry about it much. Then let us look at encumbrances. Encumbrances means, is the land mortgaged or is the product mortgaged? So there are 3 documents relating to details of encumbrances. Now they are making a self-declaration that it is free from all encumbrances except mortgage created on the property in favor of IDBI Bank Limited, by indenture of mortgage dated 28th November 2016. So there is a mortgage on the land, but again I think we should generally not worry too much about the mortgage, because mortgage on the project, they are informing you about this, whether they have the land in mortgage or not, or whether the project is mortgaged or not, usually doesn't matter so much if the builder deals with you in a legitimate way, because your flat is going to be released from mortgage. Now, it's a pretty big subject about mortgages, so I'm not going to stick my neck out here, but I'm just going to make a very general statement that many of the times mortgage of a property is not something that you and I need to worry about too much, unless we want to really sort of penetrate into the depth of it all. So there are these mortgages that seems okay. I am not overly concerned by it. The part that I am concerned with, the part that worries me, the part that I call the ugly, is this. There is the allotment letter and the pro forma agreement on RERA. The pro forma of allotment agreement and agreement for sale, allotment letter and agreement for sale. Now that is really something that should worry you and me. And the reason it should worry you and me is it is ugly. It is extremely ugly. The title on it, okay, so as always, we find that it is your application form. You are applying for allotment of this project in the sales office. After the salesman has convinced you that it's a good idea to buy this, I don't know why you should be applying for something when they have already convinced you to buy something, because then you are not applying for it. But here is this allotment application form. It says, allotment of a unit in the building known as Signia Waterfront Residential cum Commercial Complex, hereinafter referred to as the project. And it's your letter to them, to Piramal Sunteck Realty Private Limited. Dear Sir, Madam, I request that I may be provisionally registered or enrolled for a unit under your down payment or installments plan. Now, this form seems to have been designed at an earlier stage when the project was not at this stage of near completion or completion. But I suspect that if you were to apply for a flat, or if you were to try to buy a flat today, they will probably make you sign on the exact same application form format. Okay, so you are remitting a sum of rupees that much towards principal amount and SGST and all that. Now, the part that I'm going to just point out some of the ugly bits. The whole thing is ugly. Let me be very clear. This allotment letter, this application format is ugly. It is extremely, it is against the buyer. It intends to, in short, take away your money as always, forfeit the amount, either 10% or more. By your own hand, you are going to say that all the losses and damages suffered by the builder in the sale of the unit. Now, I don't know why the builder suffers losses and damages by selling a unit to you and later you cancel. How it causes losses and damages is beyond me, but they say towards liquidated damage and inconvenience compensation. And they say that if they, so they are going to take away 10% of the consideration flat out if you have paid it and then choose to cancel. Moreover, they are saying that the balance consideration shall be refunded only after a new purchaser has been identified by for the unit, which means that they are not going to refund your money, even the balance amount, in a hurry. They are going to take their own sweet time, and that's not nice. Now this whole thing is signed by only you, the applicant. There is no scope for the signature of the company in this application form. The letterhead is theirs, Signia Waterfront. The entire thing is written supposedly by you, signed by you, first applicant, second applicant, third applicant, your personal details, etc. Please note that the company is not saying anything about itself. You are revealing everything about yourself. The company is not making any claims. You are saying you are voluntarily yielding everything to them, all your rights. And I want to show you some of the really significantly ugly parts. So they are saying they can change anything and everything. They are saying that the applicant has seen that the specification and information and the materials to be used for the construction of the unit, which are also tentative. So they have given you specifications, supposedly, which you have seen. They have given you information, supposedly, which you have seen. They have given you materials for the construction of the unit. And then they are saying that is only tentative. Tentative means they can change it anytime. And the company may make such variations and modifications therein as it may deem fit and proper and may be directed by any competent authority. Further, the company shall have the right to effect such alterations. So basically what they are saying in this paragraph is they can do anything and everything. They can change anything. They can change the height, the elevation, the looks, the location of your flat, the position of the unit, the size of the unit, the height, everything can be changed. You will not say anything, you will authorize them. And in case they have to terminate your agreement, so if you don't pay for any reason whatsoever, any earthly reason whatsoever, they are not giving you any chance, any kind of concession. If you fail to pay for any earthly reason whatsoever, according to the schedule that is imposed by them, even if you have not received their letter of reminder, you have failed to pay according to the deadline, then they may terminate. They have the sole discretion to terminate the booking. And not only the booking, even if you have entered into an agreement with them, they have the discretion to terminate the agreement, which they are calling the definitive agreement, at any time without assigning any reasons. And the company will refund the principal amount without interest or penalty, and upon such refund, you will have no right. Okay, there is only one little place, a kind of an escape route, if I may call it that. In case they make changes in elevation, etc., then they may need to sign a supplementary agreement with you. If you are completely unwilling to sign a supplementary agreement, okay, although they will try to convince you, then they say the company may at its sole discretion terminate. And if they terminate, okay, and without assigning any reasons, let me tell you that, without assigning any reasons they may terminate. And if they terminate, the company will refund the principal amounts received without interest or penalty, and you will have no further rights. So they change anything and everything. They can change their agreement and their work, their what they are supposed to deliver to you. They may not give you any explanations. They may not give you any intimation. And if you are unwilling to sign a supplementary agreement, then they will refund your amount. Is that an escape route for you? I don't know. I mean, escape as in, what happens if you don't want to proceed with the project? Then this is one thing. Then there is another thing. The company shall be at complete liberty to construct additional floors, reduce wings, change the structure, everything. Okay? And if you choose to withdraw the consent for such things, and if it causes loss to the company, so you withdraw the consent for them to change things, and that causes loss, which means suppose you go to court, suppose you prevent them, suppose you get a stay order and so on, and it causes loss. You know what they say they are entitled to do? They say they are entitled to add to your building cost their damages. They say they are entitled to add those things, and your cost will now be enhanced by their losses. They will add their loss to the flat cost. That's what they are saying. And they are further saying that in case they want to cancel, in this same application form, and there is an agreement also, in the agreement, you are giving them the power of attorney needed to sign on your behalf the deed of cancellation. I hope you understand the meaning of this. You are one party, they are another party, they are the opposite party. But here, in this agreement, you will be giving them the power to sign on your behalf. They are the opposite party. Sign on your behalf a power of attorney to sign on your behalf a cancellation deed, so that they don't have to come to you to sign to have a cancellation deed. They can do it all. So it is like a man will be able to sort of birth a child by himself. He doesn't need the woman anymore. It's that kind of a thing. It's weird. Now, this agreement format is completely weird. There are a lot of weird things about it. The more I read, the more I feel that it's just ugly. It is created in bad faith. Anyone who is entering into this agreement is entering as a kind of a slave, with a slave mentality. So, of course, you can go to court, and of course it can be struck down by RERA. A lot of these clauses can be struck down by RERA or the appellate authority, or later by High Court and so on. The thing is, having this draft agreement on RERA, whether it is application